There is one law that can be used in almost every situation to stop the infliction of any cruelty against animals. Section 11 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, or the PCA Act in short. This section deals with various forms of cruelties and atrocities perpetrated on animals, both domesticated and wild. Since it covers a number of crimes, it is naturally one of the most effective weapons which empowers law enforcing agencies, animal welfare workers, and citizens who care for animals to take action against culprits. A large number of cruelties of various types are suffered by animals every day. In the streets, homes, markets, slaughterhouses, dairy farms, research laboratories, and even in forests and rivers. In this situation, knowledge of Section 11 and its scope is extremely important. You must have recently seen someone kick a dog in its stomach, or a cow being beaten with a stick, or a severely injured donkey abandoned by its owner because it was no longer useful, or other acts of cruelty, such as bullfights and bullock cart racing. This is where Section 11 of the PCA Act can be useful. As far as animal welfare laws are concerned, all acts of cruelty are covered under Section 11 of the PCA Act 1960, which deals with cruelty to animals in general. There are 15 subsections dealing with the different types of cruelty. Let us see what is punishable under Section 11.1. Section 11.1a can be used when you find someone treating an animal in a manner which results in pain, suffering, and injury. This includes acts like beating, kicking, overriding, overdriving, overloading, and torture. Under Section 11.1b, you can file a case against anyone who uses an animal suffering from any disease, infirmity, wound, sore, or other causes which renders the animal unfit for any kind of work or labor. Section 11.1c prohibits willfully administering any injurious drug or injurious substance to any animal or forcing an animal to take such drugs or substances. For example, the use of oxytocin hormone injections by dairymen without a proper prescription from a veterinary doctor is an offence under this law. Section 11.1d forbids carrying or transporting animals in such a manner or position as to subject them to pain or suffering. This applies to vehicles as well as walking them on foot. These have been further elaborated in the rules for transport of animals under the PCA Act 1960. As per these rules, a lorry can carry up to 6 adult cattle, and an ordinary broad gauge railway goods wagon can carry not more than 10 adult cattle. Keeping or confining any animal in a cage or receptacle or enclosure which does not measure sufficiently in height, length and breadth to permit the animal a reasonable opportunity for movement is a crime under Section 11.1e. It is illegal to keep any animal chained or tethered upon a short or heavy chain or cord for an unreasonable period of time. The guilty can be punished under Section 11.1f. If an animal owner does not exercise his or her pet dog, who is habitually chained up or kept in close confinement, he can be booked under Section 11.1g. An animal owner not providing food, water and shelter to an animal shall be guilty of violating Section 11.1h. Abandoning any animal which renders it likely that it will suffer pain by reason of starvation or thirst violates Section 11.1i. Section 11.1j can be invoked if a person, for example a dairy owner, permits an animal owned by him to go at large, that is, roam freely in the streets while the animal is suffering from any contagious or infectious disease. If a person abandons a diseased or disabled animal owned by him to die in the streets, he too can be punished under this law. Section 11(1)(k) prohibits selling or possessing an animal suffering pain by reason of mutilation, starvation, thirst, overcrowding, or other ill treatment. Mutilating or killing an animal, including stray dogs, by injecting strychnine in the heart or by using any other cruel method is illegal under Section 11(1)(l). Section 11(1)(m) deals with the use of animals solely for entertainment. It forbids confining any animal, including tying of an animal as a bait in a tiger or other sanctuary, so as to make it an object of prey for any other animal. This is commonly done by hunters and wildlife photographers. It also forbids inciting any animal to fight or bait any other animal simply for entertainment. Organizing, keeping, using, or participating in the organizing or management of any place for animal fighting or for the purpose of baiting any animal is punishable under Section 11(1)(n). Even if a person lets out premises or land, etc., owned by him for conducting animal fights, he too shall be considered guilty. This law also applies to persons organizing such fights and collecting money from spectators as entry fees. Section 11(1)(o) prohibits people from promoting or participating in any shooting match or competition wherein animals are released from captivity for the purpose of such shooting. Under Section 11, 3 types of cruelties have been classified as cognizable offences, meaning that a police officer can arrest an offender without an arrest warrant. The cognizable offences include mutilating or killing any animal, including stray dogs, using strychnine injections or in any other cruel manner, that is Section 11(1)(l). Confining any animal so as to make it an object of prey for any other animal, or inciting any animal to fight or bait any other animal. This comes under Section 11(1)(m). Promoting or participating in any shooting match or competition wherein animals are released from captivity for the purpose of such shooting. This is covered by Section 11(1)(o). Offences falling under all the other sub-clauses are non-cognizable, and the offender can be arrested by the police only after obtaining an arrest warrant from the concerned magistrate or judicial officer. Section 11(2) makes it obligatory for animal owners to exercise reasonable care and supervision and to prevent any sort of cruelty against animals owned by them. If they do not fulfill these obligations, they are supposed to be guilty and punishable under the law. If you happen to be inflicting any of these cruelties to any animal, you are liable to be punished under Section 11 of the PCA Act 1960. Under this Act, the first offence shall be punishable with a fine of 50 rupees per offence per animal. So, if a person is keeping 50 chickens stuffed in a tiny cage meant for 4, he shall be fined 50 rupees per chicken, that is 2,500 rupees for the first offence. If the second or subsequent offence is committed within 3 years of the first offence, it is punishable with a fine or imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 months, or both, that is, fine as well as jail. In addition to these penalties, the court can also order forfeiture of the animals to the government. The animals then become government property. The court can also prohibit the convicted person from having the custody of any animal. This ban can either be permanent or for a fixed period as decided by the court. Those who can be punished under Section 11 include the person inflicting cruelties upon animals, persons supporting or assisting him, the animal owner, and owners of the vehicles, shops and premises involved in the crime. The next time you see any animal being mistreated, you must report the matter to the local police or the SPCA, that is, the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and seek their help in enforcing the law and punishing the offender. Make it a point to provide the police or the SPCA with a concise, written, factual statement and, if possible, photographs of the situation. Remember to keep a copy of all the complaints, materials, evidences given to them. Make sure that you file an FIR against the culprits. If the law enforcement officers do not cooperate, you can take your complaint to their seniors or local government officials, including the area MLA, and ask them to act on your complaint. If you have witnessed the act yourself, ask the police officer to get a warrant issued by the magistrate to summon the accused to the court. If you want to know more about laws regarding animal welfare, write to Director, Animal Welfare, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Shastri Bhavan, New Delhi 110001.